Welcome to Ready Set RC, and today we have the Traxxas Drag Slash. This is a 1967 Chevrolet C10. Typical with standard drag RCs, it is a two-wheel drive RC. It has a heavy-duty Pro Series Magnum 272R transmission with the Traxxas Trans Brake launch installed. Also has the TSM, the Traxxas Stability Management, built in on this with a drag race mode. This truck comes in 6 different colors. We have the diamond white. I don't know if you guys are picking that up, but this is a metallic paint. There are metallic flakes all throughout this car, and you do see it if you're up close on this car. So it's not just a flat white. There is some brilliance to this. The other colors that it comes in is redline, midnight black, brilliant blue, green machine, and ultraviolet. And I've seen pretty much every color in this truck, and they all look great, guys. They're all metallic paints, and it looks amazing. This truck has an adjustable wheelie bar. It has heavy-duty drive shafts on this. As you know, with Traxxas RCs, there's waterproof electronics. Also has rubber-sealed ball bearings throughout this truck, adjustable steel camber and toe links, and it has oil-filled shocks, but they are adjustable by those clips for the shock. What you will need to complete this RC is either a 2S or 3S LiPo battery, charger for that LiPo battery, and 4 AA batteries for the controller. If you're not familiar with the Magnum 272R, this is a sealed transmission, has all metal gears, and has 4-gear differential tuning for drag racing. The fluid that is running in the differential is a 500,000 diff fluid weight. Just to give you guys some quick dimensions on the Traxxas Drag Slash, the overall length is 29.7 inches or 754 millimeters, and that is with the wheelie bar. The dimensions without the wheelie bar is 22.6 inches or 574 millimeters. The wheelbase is 12.9 inches or 327 millimeters. The width is 11 inches or 279 millimeters. And the overall height is 7.7 inches or 196 millimeters. Drag Slash out in all of its glory. Of course, it does not come with this fabulous sticker on the side. This is one of the things I put on the truck to personalize it and make it my own. But let's go over what's in the box and let's talk through this since the Drag Slash has been around for a little bit at this time. Get the optional 29-tooth pinion. Get as a mount with it as well. That is for the high-speed gearing. You want to gear it up a little bit. I know this truck is 2S and 3S LiPo ready, and we'll talk about that in a little bit later. But from what I've seen on this truck already, it looks like 2S is going to be where you want to keep it home, and maybe the gearing is where you want to adjust on this truck. You get some foam spacers and you get some body pins on here, and you also get some body protectors also on this. They give you a little bag with a little bit of goodies in here to help you maintain the body of this truck. You get some shock pistons and you get some spacers for the shocks to adjust your shock tuning. Some additional wheels for the wheelie bar. Get the warranty registration card, a full set of stickers, the guide for the controller, and this is also if you have the Bluetooth module installed. Gives you kind of a rundown, and then some basic part listings on the rear. This is a guide that this comes with every Traxxas model. It kind of takes you through what to do when the RC breaks, what to go through. It also provides parts listings for all of the truck. So every part used on this truck, it has the part numbers listed out on this as well, and some black and white blowouts of the truck too. So it's a pretty extensive manual, and I would advise you to go through it before running the truck. This is for the chargers and the batteries. This is your quick start guide. This also comes with every Traxxas RC and gives you beautiful color illustrations of how to get the RC up and running. Just making sure your RC is set up right before you put that first pack in. You also get some basic tools, wheel wrench, turnbuckle wrench, hex wrench, some Allen wrenches. The wheelie bar does not come pre-installed, but it does have the larger set of wheels installed on them. They do not feel, and I can actually attest this, they're not ball bearings because there is definitely no rotation on them. It is multiple adjustments as you guys can see up here. Multiple adjustments for the wheelie bar. It is made of a composite. It does feels pretty rigid. Feels like it'll hold up. Let's twist it around. Yeah, feels like it'll hold up. But it is an adjustable wheelie bar, and I will be assembling this on the truck as well. And lastly, the TQI controller. And I know, looking at this, you're like, hey, this is just the same old TQI controller, but it's not. Yes, it has the steering trim on here. You have your TSM adjustments. You have the menu, the set button on here. If you choose to put the Bluetooth module on here, yes, you can do that over here on the rear as well. But what's different? That trans brake button on here, guys. That's the difference. It still does take 4 AA's, the on-off switch is here, but that trans brake button is right here. So you set that speed that you want to the car, you release, and the car takes off. Traxxas has probably the best video I've seen of the trans brake. I've seen other guys doing their own forms of trans brake prior to Traxxas release. Kudos to Earl Moorhead. Earl, really, man, that was killer. Yeah, having that trans brake for us noobs out there, it's very cool. I'm looking forward to using that. But here we are, guys, the Traxxas Drag Slash in all of its glory. This is what we came to see. As I stated, I have the diamond white that's running on this. And let's get into the body of the Drag Slash. You have a 3D molded bed in the rear. They have some stickers inside it as well. The bed has some indentations for the wheel well underneath. So you have that molding set up inside the truck. The body itself, and I'll get this off so you guys can see, has some real weight to it, guys. This thing is not light by any means. So you have a molded bumper up here in the front. The grille is also another molded piece. These windows are masked off, so they are painted over. This is the bed I was talking about in reference to the wheels, having the indentations for them, a faux tank also in the rear, and another molded piece for the wing on the back. And then you have the molded bumper also going on here. So it does give the body some serious weight going on in this truck. For me, I added some masking underneath. It does not come with any masking whatsoever, but I added my own set of masking on there, and it's already starting to bubble up on me, so I'm gonna have to kind of do some pressing down of it. But I wanted to keep it clear because any dark masking I would have done would have showed up underneath. Hopefully you guys are able to see that. You can see that there's spacing here for lights in the front. There's nothing in the rear, so there's no spacing for lights in the rear. You'd have to make up something on your own. But there is spacing for lights in the front. I'm looking at it, I think it's like 2 park lights and the 2 headlights that are in there. I know Traxxas is supposed to be coming out with a light kit eventually for it. I want to say it's like 5 millimeters for the headlights. The park lights look like they're about 3 millimeters that would fit in here, but that's just a simple guess of me looking at it off the first try. It does feel very stout. It's not a flimsy body. It feels really good in the hands. You know, it's on road, so it's going to get some road rashes on it, especially over here once it ends up on its roof. So, you know, these are the things that you're going to expect while you're doing testing and getting this thing tuned out just right for you. But let's get into this nice looking chassis, guys. And for you guys who have gone out and built drag slashes in the past, this is not going to be anything new in regards to the layout and how the truck looks. I think all of the newness for anyone that has done a drag slash is going to be here in the rear and the actual Magnum 272R. As I told you guys earlier, this is a 2-wheel drive slash. In the front, you're not going to have much going on other than your steering that's happening over here in regards to the mechanics. So there's no drive shafts, nothing else like that coming out from the center or in the front. This is a 2-wheel drive vehicle. Most of the action in regards to the drivetrain is going to happen here in the rear. I guess the one thing I'd like to have seen on this car at this price point would have been screw down shocks, but I do get why they're using clips on this. I just want to see how the springs are set up, make sure they're nice and stiff in regards to this build. But I'm liking the qualities that they're used in here. The arms on here are nice and beefy. It's a nice firm bumper up here in the front. I'm liking the support that they have coming through. It is a composite shock tower that's on here. Adjustable body mounts that I'm seeing on this. You have an LCG chassis on this. So it keeps it nice and low to the ground. You are running a waterproof 2075 servo on this. Servo saver also, all links that I'm looking at on this truck, there are adjustable metal links throughout. You have 4mm adjustable steel turnbuckles throughout this truck. So you have camber and toe adjustments in the front. You have the camber adjustments in the rear. So the shock mounts, from what I'm seeing, the upper, there are no adjustments on here. The lower, there are 2 adjustments. Nice, generous battery tray. Receiver off to the left side of the truck. You have the ESC, which is a VXL 3S ESC. As I stated, you guys won't probably be running this too much on 3S. I think 2S is where it's going to be, and then using your, kind of playing around with your gearing on this is kind of where you're going to want it. Coming back to the rear, you do have oil-filled coil-over shock. They are adjusted by spacers. The motor is a Valenion 3500 kV brushless motor. It's a 10-turn motor, and it's paired up to the Magnum 272R transmission. Drive shafts are heavy-duty. They are composite, but they are a heavy-duty composite drive shaft. Tires on here are Mickey Thompson replicas. They feel the part, guys. The backs are real sticky. We'll see how they perform when we take it out for the first run. And as for the chassis, it is a composite. Just so you guys can see that too. It is a composite chassis all throughout. Skids are also composite. It's a well-built truck, guys. I can't wait to take this thing out. The gear pitch in the Drag Slash is a 48 pitch. Now, one of the functionalities that you get out of this truck is the ability to turn off the TSM on this truck, and that allows you to really test out your skill set. The TSM definitely will help you out as you start off in the beginning, and then as you kind of grow, you can turn it off. With no prep, I'll have to say, you're gonna have to check with your officials in regards to if you can even run this truck with the TSM system in it. I know you can turn it off, but I don't know if that's going to be sufficient enough for a no prep organization. But as you guys know how we like to do on Ready Set RC, I'm going to get a couple of our other drag cars out and do some size comparisons to the Traxxas Drag Slash. So here we are, guys, the Traxxas Drag Slash over here. This is my Arma Raider XL. I've been doing some testing and tuning, and I still got some honing on to do with this car at this point, but I wanted to come bring this out so you guys can see the size differences between the two, and hopefully you guys are able to see. This is considered a 1/8 scale buggy, but you guys can see the size differences between the two vehicles, that there's pretty much, and I'll take the body off, maybe that's even a better idea so that you guys can see. And they're pretty spot on, guys. Now, as I stated, I'm still going through testing and tuning of the Arma Raider XL. I'm really close, guys. I'm really close to getting this thing just right. I got some tires that I want to swap out in the rear, get these things really moving right, and I'm going to do some more tuning in reference to the shocks on this. But this is the Drag Slash, which is built right out of the box to really get your drag fix on. This is more so taking a project and making this my own, and I'm really getting this going. But you guys can see the size differences. They're spot on in regards to the actual length of the truck. In regards to width, hopefully you guys are able to see that. It's just ever so slightly wider than the Traxxas Drag Slash. In the rear, you probably can see it a little bit more, but I am running the Big Daddies on here. So these tires, let's see, hold on. No, the Big Daddies, the Proline Big Daddies that are on here are about the same width as the Mickey Thompsons on the Drag Slash. And you guys can see how much wider the Arma Raider XL is. So, as I said, this is a pet project for me. You guys can see how much of a wider vehicle that is with the Arma Raider XL. Well, they're about the same when it comes to the wheelbase. The wheelbases are about the same. For the most part, if you have a 1/10 scale short course truck, which is what this is based off of, it is about the same size as an 8 scale buggy. They kind of come out to about the same size. So this is not a surprise to me to see that the wheelbases are about the same. But if you were trying to compare the two together, this is just a more dialed in truck when you're talking about the Traxxas Drag Slash. It's just something that is really honed in with all of its adjustable links and everything else that you see on this truck compared to what I am now doing on the Armor XL. And in regards to the links, you have all the adjustabilities on the Traxxas Drag Slash as to compared to the Armor Raider XL. They're fixed links. There's not really much adjustments there. So most of the adjustments I'm going to have to do with this are going to either be some homemade rigging or just tuning things in my own way to get it to perform, as well as the ones that are just ready to run like the Traxxas Drag Slash. So for you guys who are more into the ready to run vehicles for drag racing, these are probably the two newest and biggest RCs out at the time of this video. So you have the Traxxas Drag Slash over here, the Losi 22S no prep drag car. Both of these, as I stated, are ready to run. That means they come out of the box just like this. They come with an ESC, a motor, a servo, everything that you're going to need to get these up and running, minus a charger, the batteries for the cars, and batteries for your remote. And that's basically it. So they get you up and running and going. You're not going to have to, like I have with my Armor Raider XL, build it from scratch and kind of do all that tuning to it. These things come out of the box that way. Yes, you're probably going to have to tweak it just a little bit, but for the most part, if you want to get out, get in your backyard, get in your parking lots, and just have some fun, you're going to be able to do it with these two. Now, there is a third one that's ready to run that's out at the time of this video. It probably was the first one to the game, which is the Team Associated DR10. And that's been out now compared to these two for probably a little over a year at this point at the time of this video. But right now, these two are the two hot puppies that everyone's been trying to get. So you guys can see the two RCs, and as for the size of them, the shells are large. For both of these, the shells are pretty large. And if you're looking at the Losi, does have the edge in regards to the shell and the size of the shell between the two. But I'm going to take the shells off, let you guys see what they look like underneath and compare the two. In regards to the wheelbase, they're spot on, guys, and hopefully you're able to see that from the angles that we have here, that they're spot on. And you know, there's the only difference you're seeing is on the Drag Slash, I do not have the wheelie bar installed yet, so you're seeing that it does go a little bit longer on the Losi drag car, but I will definitely say in regards to the overall length of them, you're probably going to see them very close to each other. See that they are both running replica Mickey Thompson tires on them. The rear tires are much wider on the Traxxas Drag Slash than they are on the Losi drag car. Hopefully you guys are picking that up on the camera. They are the same width, guys. I mean, spot on. The width of the two cars are the same width, and I'm hoping you guys pick that up. And even with the wider tires that are on the Traxxas Drag Slash, they still are the same width on the Losi drag car. And there we are, guys. I'm just gonna give it a slight nudge so I can get them to line up perfectly. And you guys are seeing there, the wheelbases are the same between the two. And as I stated, the wheelie bar that kicks off back here is what's really giving the length a little bit longer. Once I do put the wheelie bar on the Drag Slash, you'll see that they come a little bit closer to each other, but just taking the chassis for what they are the same. But that's it, guys. We've done an unboxing, a quick overview of the Traxxas Drag Slash. We've done a size comparisons between a kit project that I have, Raider XL, and with the Losi 22S drag car. And we've seen the size differences between those three vehicles. But we're gonna leave it here, guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram for our latest posts of the channel. This is Ready Set RC, signing out. Thanks again, guys.